Best offensive adjustments versus zone. What are some key hot routes? So this is kind of a two-part question, Gibbs. When you face certain coverages, what are your best adjustments? And then what are just key hot routes that you like to use on certain plays? So, okay, so you're in cover 2.
Mm-hmm.
What do you like to do against cover 2? Do you like to put flats? Here are your hot routes: ins, outs, drags, slants. Do you like to block a halfback? Like what do you do against cover 2?
One thing you could do here is a quick audible to the right. So you want to create like a clear out situation. So what you would do in this case is you would just simply drag Richardson. So it's any type of vertical on one side of the field. When on the opposite side of the field, you run a underneath route behind it. And so this is just a clear out technique.
So a drag is very good against cover 2 because
or
other routes,
defense.
Other routes clear out of the way, people back off, and then you can hit it underneath and at least pick up some yards. At least have a late breaking route. So drags against cover 2. Against cover 3, you like to go for the sail concept. So give me cover 3 here, and we'll show you some ideas of how you can beat that. So possibly we don't have the right route combination on this. We'll go back to bunch trail. You want to add a streak. So you'd want to streak Baldwin, flat Graham, and against cover 3, this could be something that gets open for you. You might want a deeper corner, but if you do think it is cover 3, then you want to attack that deep corner. Now the corner you're unable to make, so you need to have a play that has a corner, but then you can always add a streak, always add a flat, and that will help you. Against cover 4, what do you like to make for some adjustments? Do you like to run the ball?
Cover 4, you typically want to go to the flat. That's where things like the out to Rawls and Baldwin, like even against these cloud flats, you could throw this out to Rawls here. Like so, we'll get to another secondary technique here, but that out to Rawls against those cloud flats, it's pretty effective.
Yeah.
Because the zone will drift from it, so you can dump the ball to him. Now the other thing that I want to talk about here is we call this. I guess you could call it the canale, right? So you put Rawls on the out. Now drag Jimmy Graham. Or you could drag Baldwin in this case, rather. Drag Baldwin. So this works specifically from a bunch set where you have the receiver on one side tight and then the halfback opposite side. So the route to Rawls is going to pull the zone to that side, and then there's going to be a little alleyway to throw the drag that helps you open up this receiver to the drag. So snap the ball. So what ends up happening is if you go there, there's this like alley right there. I'm gonna not use her so you can see it this time. So let me go back here. Let me say if I was in a cover 3, right? If I was cover 3 hard flats, let me bring the safety up too. And let me just
right before the numbers. You want to hit it to him and then go right upfield.
So let me see. So drag. You get a drag to Baldwin. Yeah, there you go. So what ends up happening here is the the out gets eaten up by him, and then there's that alleyway to the halfback there. So I use that quite a bit. Even against if you're in that works too if you're in hard flats at a cover 2. Like if you're in hard flats at a cover 2, the same thing applies. Like the drag the out will take the drag, take the flat zone, and then the drag gets behind it, and you can throw it and try and cut up the canale right up the middle of the field.
Nice.
But I would say any standard hot route, a vertical with a drag underneath is usually a really good starting point because the vertical helps pull zones downfield.
Right.
And then the drag helps open things up. So the same thing could be said for if you were go to the play action elbow, and now put Baldwin on a fade. What happens here is Baldwin now motion him out left. This is going to create a little alley for Jimmy Graham. It's a brief window, but the vertical pulls it downfield. Now it's late because of the play action.
Right.
But the vertical will help pull zones downfield a little bit. There's open up passing lanes underneath. So any type of vertical stem with an underneath drag, in, out, things like that, that's usually a good starting point as a base hot route to make.
Gibbs, we got a special guest in the chat. Skimbo23, the king of the bunch. He says your bunch is embarrassing.
No, yeah, it is. It's nowhere near as good as his.
The bunch is solid. He's the best bunch player in America.